Hey y'all, in this video I want to talk about the liner brush, also known as the rigger, also known as a script brush. So basically what this brush is it's super long, super long. You can see I've got a couple of different ones here. Sometimes when they're not wet, like this one, it's splayed out a whole lot, but once you wet it, the bristles, they come together and they get pointy. And what these are great for is kind of their namesake, which is making lines or script. I have seen people take a liner brush and write out, or paint out words. I do not have that gifting and talent for calligraphy or words, but y'all, it's beautiful when somebody actually does do it. So how I use these brushes is really, I will use them for drawing because they, I say drawing, making marks, because they're so long, they have a tendency to be a little uncontrollable. I like that about this brush because what it does is it gives you a little bit of spontaneity. I generally hold them sort of far back. I feel like when I hold it far back, I actually can fake a little sense of control. Mainly because I can kind of gauge, I can go slow, I can gauge where I'm going. So you can see I am controlling this to a certain degree. It's for making circles, but look how kind of wonky these circles are. They're not perfect. They feel very organic, and I love that about this brush. You can go from, I'm going from flat, I'm raising it and getting really fine. Oops, I lifted totally off the paper. I'm going to do that again. So like I'm pressing the brush completely down. I'm actually rolling it in my hands and lifting it to get super fine. These are so fun. One thing I do like to do is sometimes just roll them all over the place and just let them do their thing. They make lines, they're gonna make lines and shapes that you're just not gonna get with many other brushes. Let me show you one of the really, I just love this right here. The other thing I like to do this kind of mark making in ink. I'm working with watercolors right now just because it's just easy, because they're right here, and I could grab them and just get going. Look at this big one that I want to show y'all. Let me just show you. Okay, so let's do pressing it down. Oh, look at this. Look how beautiful. You can come back, you can scoop back up. I think this is why people like using them for calligraphy, is because when you press down with it, you can get, look how far, like I can wiggle it around, come up. Let's just say I wanted to use it as nature making. I can really press, wiggle, and raise it. this brush would actually make really nice leaves, which is sort of an unconventional way to use this brush. Let's do, now I'm just making tiny marks. This makes a different type of mark because it's so long. I don't have necessary control over the tip, especially if I hold it way far back. I have way less control, which is super, I like this. Here's why I like it. I am a little bit of a control freak. So when I can use a tool that actually gets me out of my head and out of that place of wanting to be tight and control, I embrace it. See how these are totally imperfect. I want them to be perfect, like my brain wants them to be, but they're not gonna be, because you can't, which is really great. This is really great. So look at because they're long, they also hold a lot of water and can go pretty far. So you can paint, here I'm pressing, I'm coming up, pressing. I'm gonna get another sheet of paper. Let me just lay that guy right there. I just wanna show you some longer marks because that's really what a rigger, aka liner, aka script, they're really great for just making lines. I'm gonna go wide, I'm coming up to the tip, I'm going wide again, coming up wide. They're really, now I've got a ton of water on here right now. So beautiful. I mean, let's be fast about it. See what happens here. I don't necessarily like it when it starts to run out. It doesn't, for me, make the prettiest marks. This doesn't do anything for me. I don't care for that. So, but it's nice to know what this brush does. Woo, this lack of control, y'all, it's something else with this one. Let me tell you. But I like it. I like it. I like that sense of not exactly knowing what the brush is really going to do. But look how fine, just using it on the very tip gives you these really nice, fine lines. Look how many lines I've made with just whatever was in the brush. So you can see it holds a lot. So this would be, let me fill it really good. And then let's go, let's just see how many rows can I make it to the bottom. And what I like about this too is the paint is getting lighter and lighter as I go along. So it's changing its tone. Wow, this is actually a whole lot. I think I probably would make it all the way to the bottom. I am not going to bore you with that. But the point is, and look how they're thicker and they're getting finer and finer. So you can see the possibilities of this brush. Can I write a word with this? Let's do a word. Not bad. Huh, not bad for someone who doesn't do words. And that was with a really crazy long one. Let me try this one. This one's a little shorter. So actually this one, Oh, and the paint I'm using, this is called Moon Glow. It's a really beautiful gray. It is by Daniel Smith. Because this brush, it's a little shorter, I actually am gonna have some more control and some more consistency. As you can see, I'm getting more consistent marks. You can get really fine. You can go wide with this little one. Again, come up, go wide, wait, more water. More water. Let's see what a word looks like with it. Not bad, better, a little more control. So this is the liner rigger script brush. You can have a ton of fun with it. Like I said, I really love to just do random, especially with the big one. The smaller ones run out of water faster. As you can see, I'm not getting very far, but let's say the really long one, if I filled it with ink, let's see, well, I was gonna flip it over, but I can flip this one over. Let me just flip this guy over. I'll set it down gingerly because some spaces were wet. Just kind of letting it go all over. Just fill in a page with just scribbles. It's beautiful. And what is fun to do with this that I have done before is scribble with other color, like multiple, and I call this scribbling. Is it really scribbling? I don't know. It's just lines, mark making, and letting the colors bleed together and bleed into one another is actually quite fun. So that's it, y'all. Now I'm literally just playing here. If you've never tried a liner rigger brush, I encourage you to give it a try. If you've got one laying around, obviously I say this at the end of all of them, give it a go, give it an experiment, ask what if, how are the different ways I can use this brush, and you know the drill. Play, play, play. Happy creating, y'all.